It was a stormy October evening when Ethan Bell, a struggling architecture student from Boston, received a strange email. No sender name, no subject line, only a single line of text. Come to Elmridge. The house remembers you. Attached was a high-resolution blueprint of a Victorian-era mansion with his name watermarked at the bottom. Ethan blinked. He had never been to Elmridge, a small, near-abandoned town in Vermont. He had never designed a house like that, but something inside him stirred, a pull he couldn't explain. Arrival at Elmridge. 3 days later, Ethan packed a backpack, a drone camera, and his notebook, and drove 4 hours north. As he approached the town, he noticed something strange. No people. The gas stations were empty, stores boarded up, and nature had begun reclaiming the land. At the very edge of town stood the house from the blueprint. It looked exactly the same. Ivy crawling over brick, broken stained glass windows, and a front gate etched with a single phrase. What is built cannot be undone. He felt something watching him as he stepped inside. The house within. The house was alive with silence. Each creak of the floorboards beneath his boots echoed like distant footsteps. Dust danced in the stale air. On the second floor, he found a library untouched by time. Thousands of books lined the shelves, each labeled Bell Archive. He opened one. It was filled with sketches, notes, and floor plans, all in his handwriting. But he had never drawn them. That night, he set up camp in the library, unable to resist flipping through the blueprints. Every one was more detailed than the last: bedrooms, secret staircases, hidden cellars. Designs that had never been built, or had they? He awoke at 3:33 a.m. to a door slamming shut downstairs. The first night, he grabbed his flashlight and crept down the grand staircase. The kitchen door swayed open. Inside, there was no one, but the floor was wet with footprints. Bare. Human. Leading down into the cellar. Ethan followed. The air grew colder with every step. In the flickering light, he saw an old chalkboard. Written on it in shaky handwriting, "We are still inside." Suddenly, the door behind him slammed shut, plunging him into darkness. And then the whispering began. Ethan stood frozen in the dark cellar, his breath visible in the freezing air. The walls whispered, not in English, not in words, but in something primal. A sound that echoed in his bones. He fumbled with his flashlight. It flickered to life. He wasn't alone. Across the cellar stood a figure, tall, skeletal, dressed in clothes from another era. Its face was blurred, like a smear on old film. Then it turned and walked into the wall, vanishing. Ethan dropped his flashlight. A hidden room. Panicked, Ethan searched the wall. When he pressed his hand against one of the stones, it moved. A hidden door creaked open, revealing a narrow tunnel lined with bricks and dust. He hesitated, then stepped in. The passage led to a room that wasn't on any blueprint. A stone chamber, candlelit, with a strange circular table at the center. Symbols had been carved into the floor around it. In the middle lay a thick book titled, Architect of Memory, Property of Ethan Bell. Ethan opened it. Inside were entries dated 50 years ago, describing visions of a house, dreams of corridors that changed shape, and voices that guided the author to design something forbidden. The last page read, "Once completed, the house will awaken." Echoes of the architect. Ethan staggered back into the main house. Every hallway now felt different. Longer. Tighter. The windows now showed a black sky, though it was just afternoon. The house had changed. Or was it finally showing its true shape? In the library, the books had rearranged themselves. New blueprints lay open on the table, featuring secret rooms beneath the house he had never seen. Places not made of brick or wood, but of memory. One blueprint had the label, "The Echo Chamber, Final Design." Inside it, a sketch of a man staring at a reflection of himself, with no eyes. Meeting the others. In the mirror above the fireplace, Ethan saw something. A face behind him. He turned, but no one. Then came footsteps above. He raced up the stairs to the attic and found 3 people sitting in silence. A young girl with no shadow. A middle-aged man sketching a doorway that shifted every time he blinked. And a woman whispering to a wall, as though it whispered back. They all turned to Ethan. "You found it," the girl said. "What is this place?" Ethan asked. "The blueprint of forgetting," the woman answered. "You drew it. You just don't remember." The truth of the house. They explained everything. The house was not haunted. It was a memory engine, designed by a forgotten architect, Ethan himself. Decades ago, he had lived a past life here, drawn by dreams to build a house that could trap time, memory, and identity. Each room was a loop, each corridor a memory trap. Those who entered slowly forgot who they were, piece by piece, until they became echoes of themselves. "You returned because it called you," said the man. "Because the house is incomplete without you." Ethan felt dizzy. "But I'm not that person." "Then why do you know every inch of this house?" The final room. Driven by instinct, Ethan climbed to the top of the spiral tower at the center of the house, a place not visible from outside. There, he found a circular room made entirely of glass panels. At its center stood a drafting table. Blueprints scattered across it. One last design waited for him. Memory release protocol, the house that ends. The instructions were clear. Burn the blueprints. Break the cycle. Or stay and forget. As he stared at the papers, the glass began to fog. Shadows moved outside. The house groaned. It was resisting. The decision. Ethan pulled out his lighter. Pages curled under flame. The walls screamed. The floor cracked. Down below, the house began to fall apart, walls folding inward, rooms vanishing in dust, screams rising from every stairwell. But he kept burning, until the final page turned to ash. Then silence. Back to the beginning. Ethan awoke in his Boston apartment. Rain tapped gently at the windows. His notebook lay open on the desk. Blank. No drawings. No notes. No house. Just a letter in the mail slot. No sender. No return address. Inside, one sentence. "Thank you for remembering us.